the first thing the hospitals or the clinic should be doing is to create the trust. Good afternoon, everyone. So hope everyone is doing well and good. And I think today this is the first session on this venue. So my name is George Davis. I work as Director of Business Development at Mubadala Health M42. So I have structured my talk or my thoughts. Sorry for the inconvenience. So I have structured my presentation into three different areas. One is focusing on my personal journey on medical value travel. Second area I am focusing on what are the opportunities in medical value travel. And third area primarily on the challenges. So as many of the people or attendees to get intro into medical value travel or medical tourism. See, medical value travel basically is people traveling outside the country for getting a medical treatment. For example, it can be from a small city to a big city, or from one country to another country, or thirdly, between continents. So the major factors what make the patient to travel outside their home country, because you are living in a home country and you want to get your treatment in a different country. One is, the first thing is non-availability of the treatment in the country. Second point can be the cost of treatment. And third thing is the long waiting time in the home country of their treatment. So to give you a better understanding of how it works, I give you my personal insights into how I landed in working in medical value travel. So my start of my journey, I started in 2007 at the Heidelberg University Hospital in the International Patient Department as a business analyst. So this was my first plunge into medical value travel. So those are the days of faxes. Emails are still evolved, and as a business analyst working in this department, I was mostly working with the case managers who are there to coordinate on the cases. So speaking on this aspect, so the thing is that most of the patients in Heidelberg were from the Middle East and from the African countries. So as I worked almost like 4 years there, most of the patients were traveling those days who doesn't have like a good facility or advanced facility to get their treatment done. So after working 4 years, most of the patients were coming for advanced oncology treatment, which was unavailable to the most other countries during those days. Secondly, the quality of the treatment. So if you consider these 2 points, the patient journey was not that smooth those days, because you need to get the reports faxed from the treatment abroad department or the patient's treating doctor. Secondly, he needs to, because remember the travel plan, all those things to be done in advance, the cost of the treatment, the visas, all those things take a lot more time to get sorted. So in those days, the patients who used to come, they were having like a long waiting period. At least they will take 3 to 4 months to get their reports and the treatment plan done. So this was my first part of the journey, where the first point I mentioned, unavailability of the treatment. This is one point which makes patients travel to their country. So coming to the second aspect, cost of treatment. So after working in Heidelberg for almost 4 or 5 years, I moved to India. So India is a market which is highly focused on cost-effective treatment. So the huge volume of medical travels coming to India were primarily from African markets and also from the Middle East, where the cost of treatment was absolutely lower. And this is a volume-based market. So then I moved to Dubai maybe in 2013-14, and starting with working with a couple of hospitals here. So focusing on medical and wellness travel. So in this journey, see, if you see Dubai, there is quality of treatment. Second is low waiting time. Cost, I think it is a bit cheaper compared to other destinations. So as a destination in Dubai, when I landed up working in this market, what were the advantages I got is low waiting time. Second is advanced quality of facilities. Most of the hospitals in Dubai are JC accredited. And third is the quality of care which is available in the facility. So if you look at a patient who is traveling from a distant country, who lands up in another destination for his continuity of treatment, he looks at the three aspects which is told, that is quality of care, cost of treatment, and the waiting time. So now I come to the second part of my talk, which is more focused on what are the challenges. So as a patient sitting in a home country, what he thinks, because he is looking for some advanced oncology treatment or advanced oncology surgery. So when you look at this aspect, see, the patient who sits in the country, he's at his comfort zone. Second thing is that he is sick, so he's not well, and he's having a low mental attribute to travel to another country. So looking at this aspect, the patient decides to go for a treatment in another destination. So where does he get references from? Nowadays, it is through Google reviews and patient testimonials. So maybe if you look at 10 years before, patients were mostly depending on the references from their friends, relatives, or colleagues who have traveled to these countries. So the thing is that, so to make a patient comfortable, to make his choice or decision, where should he go, the first thing the hospitals or the clinic should be doing is to create the trust. So this can be built through the previous patient testimonials, good Google reviews. Third thing is that the physicians talking about the quality of care. And of course, this quality accreditations can help, like JCI or other quality accreditations, which is in the hospital, they can help to make the decision. And the second aspect is the waiting time. Waiting time is, see, maybe most of the times the patient might decide about the surgery in a short duration of time. So to make a quick decision from the patient side or from the patient journey side, the response from the hospital should be quick. See, most of the times the patient sends an email with a medical report of a patient to the hospital, and the hospital take ages to get a feedback. So in this scenario, most of the patients, they lose interest. So one of the key important thing to overcome this challenge at a hospital is to have an international patient department who takes care of the patient inquiries. Second, transfer the patient inquiries to the concerned physicians and get a feedback on what is the treatment or what is the treatment protocol to be done at the earliest. So talking about this point, see, as a patient sitting in a different country and looking to get a treatment, the patients primarily look at the service they are getting, because they don't know the physicians before they reach the hospital. Maybe they are doing some website research or something, but the key thing is the response what the physician is getting in terms of the feedback mechanism or the treatment plan. And also transparency is one another thing which makes the patient decision quick and successful. Transparency means how fast the billing process, and also if you have given an initial estimate or cost estimate of the treatment, how good you are sticking to this cost estimate. Third thing is even with the cost estimate, there can be variation, because it's not like you book a hotel on booking.com, because if you book a room, that's it. But for medical treatment, there is always several other concerns. The duration of the surgery can change. And also, each of the patients, they are different because maybe he has comorbidities like obesity or high blood pressure or cholesterol. So these factors also have a great impact on the cost of the treatment. So looking at this, when you can provide a transparent billing or transparent cost estimate to the patient, this is one of the key success factors. How well you are connected with the cost in the patient side. And the third thing is the quality of service and the language flexibility, because several of the patients, they have a different mother tongue or mother language which they are comfortable of talking. And in medical, you have to explain the points very clear to the patient. So if you could have like language translators or translators who communicate the patient's same language, this can be a lot helpful from the patient side to get a confidence. And if you see that hospital or the clinics who have getting advanced in the medical value travel, they have a dedicated department to take care of the patient queries, do have a transparent mechanism. And third thing is that quality of the physicians and the quality of care. Nowadays, even most of the patients, they know about what is a JC accreditation or any accreditation, what is the quality of the physicians. And of course, the last and the final point is cost. Because if you see, 90% of the medical value travel happens on self-pay because the patients are paying out of the pocket. Only 10% patients, they use insurance. So in that scenario, most of the time the patient is on a very strict budget on what can be done. So sticking to the budget of the patient is also one important thing that makes the patient trust. And also, you see, as per the most of the calculations done globally, if a patient spends 100 dirham at $100 at a hospital, he might be spending around $30 to $40 on his travel and his accommodation. So 40% of the cost also concerns to his travel, hotel, maybe he have a companion. All those costs has to be considered in terms of travel. So how it can impact the economy in terms of medical value travel is, one, it can boost the economy of the hospital. So secondly, it can boost the tourism around it. For example, a patient traveling to Dubai for a medical treatment. So for example, he does a surgery of spine or something like this. So his surgery day will be like 2 or 3 days he stays at the hospital. Then after 1 week he recovered. Then he stays around, he go through the sites and visit some tourist sites. And lastly, he will have like 2 or 3 weeks of physiotherapy. So the overall journey of the patient will be almost like 3 to 4 weeks or a month during, if it's like a major or a complex surgery. So also we have to consider the fact that how the patient or patient bystander can be taken care during this during this time he stays in the country. So all these factors matters when the patient makes the decision. So talking about the opportunity of this market, you see, over the last 10 or 15 years, the trends or the different markets which is focused on medical value travel has changed. Because even if you look at the USA, the medical value travel is more going to Brazil for plastic surgery. And as a country like Turkey, they have a lot of patients who go for hair transplant and obesity surgeries. So if you see these factors, the countries have changed. And there is a huge market in Thailand and Malaysia for medical treatment. So even if you see the Europe, especially Germany, they are focused more on advanced oncology and orthopedic spine treatment. So there is a different buckets of treatment, and some markets have gone up, some markets have gone down. But the market is going to increase. You see, the projections are like at least they grow the next 3 to 4 years around 20% is the annual growth projected in the market. And the type of treatments which the patients are looking are getting more and more advanced, because earlier the patients were just traveling for their surgeries. Now patients are traveling for their annual health checkups, longevity treatment, stem cell therapy. Third thing is that for cosmetic surgeries. So there is a market which is increasing for other services as well as from the traditional medical services. So coming to the conclusion, so the market is growing as well as the challenges are also there, but with the evolution of advanced team and professional approach, this can be well tailored and it can be improved. Thank you so much for listening to me and have a great day. Thank you.